Don't touch it.
Okay, how about John McMullen?
John,
but now they're a lot less
Tony,
worse,
how are
'cause
you?
when
Hey,
Tuesdays
John,
at
how are you?
BW
John's a little hot.
He sounds like
John's a little hot.
traditional
Two is hot.
wings. So Monday, you may kick off the
Turn
week.
down just an
Wednesday,
RCH
you may have a
if you
cool
used to say.
nickname. Thursday,
John, make sure that
you
mic
might
is
have
tucked
weekend,
up.
but
John,
watch
make
your
sure that
back,
mic's
because
tucked up a little
Tuesdays
bit.
just
And then
officially
let's get
became
Colin is on.
Wing Tuesday.
Colin is on mic
Buffalo
1.
Wild Wings.
Check. Now I can't hear myself.
Colin's low. Colin's low. 1.
Not on the air, though. He's low in his headsets.
You're in charge of hiring,
Okay.
and Indeed has solutions.
Is his mic level
like
good?
company
Air mic
pages
level.
where you can
Go
get
ahead,
people
Carl,
excited
talk
about
again.
working for you.
Check. Can't
And
hear
we give you
Colin's
a
still low on the
Colin
side.
is
which
low.
will bang
1
its
is
symbols
low.
when the right resume appears.
One needs to go up.
Okay, well, he's low.
Okay, there
he's
is
on
no
1 and he's low.
I don't even hear him.
I said
Talk
there is
again.
no monkey.
Can't hear him at all.
But
Is it
company
blood? We
pages
can
Can't hear
on
Colin.
top.
Check.
See why independent
Is there a-
research
So low, it's like
shows Indeed
distant.
delivers
Yeah, I can't hear him at all.
constant and
Yeah.
able job
Check,
site.
check.
Visit
Check.
Indeed.com/promo to try company pages for free.
Thank you,
Terms and
Joe.
conditions
Thank you,
apply.
Joe. There we
Look, we got all the
Carl,
lights here.
Carl, talk again.
Gotcha. Check. Gotcha. Gotcha.
Josh, how is he?
Look at
It's
that.
the now Colin's a little hot. Joe, move the mic away from your mouth a little bit.
Who's hot?
With Tony Bruno
I'm
Colin.
excited for it. I'm ready for it.
on 97.3
All right, stand by.
I'm hot too,
ESPN
but that's not the
and
point.
the mobile app.
And Mr. Monday Night is here.
Live from
Stand
the
up, stand
landmark
by.
Americana in Glassboro.
And that's an outrage.
Featuring Eagles and NFL insider John McMullen and Colin Thompson. Presented by Corona. Powered by Davios. And fueled by the IBEW
Got the
Local
D-Jacks
98.
ready.
Now, it's the Monday Night Countdown to Kickoff.
Stand by.
Let's play some
Everybody.
damn football.
With Mr. Monday Night, Tony Bruno, and Eitan Shander.
3rd and 10. It's only a 3-man rush. Still pressure. Wentz just going to air it out. Going way deep down the field. He's got a touchdown! Deshaun Jackson.
And welcome in, everyone, on a Monday night as we come to you here on 97.3 ESPN. It's the Countdown to Kickoff show with Tony Bruno, Eitan Shander, NFL insider, Big John McMullen, and Colin Thompson as we come to you from the landmark in Glassboro. An hour abbreviated show tonight, Tony. 1 hour leading into the Monday Night Football doubleheader. Let's go upstairs. Top to you.
We're going to need a big shoehorn tonight to get everything in. We're going to have to get in 1 hour. Normally we'll be here for 2 hours.
Right.
But because the Monday night doubleheader on opening weekend is a 7:15 kickoff, we only do an hour. Next week we'll do 2 hours, and then we'll get
Jam-packed.
everything in.
Right.
John McMullen, how you feeling tonight? John and I are brothers from another mother,
We are.
in case you've noticed.
We are. I'm a little bit heavier though, so you got that. But I'm just here to make you two look good. The stars look good.
Is that right?
And the great Colin Thompson is here, looking good, clean,
Yes.
fit.
Well, he always looks good.
Is
when he steps in.
Eitan related with the bald, clean look?
Yes.
Of course he did.
That was all three of you. It's a triplet.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you know, without the glasses, I think that would make it eerily
We can make that
similar,
work. Plenty
right?
of people wear fake glasses now
The
to look
great
good, right?
Eitan Shander, part of Eitan and Mays and Eitan, whatever you want to call it.
Whatever you
every
want.
day.
As long as you listen, I don't give a damn what you call
And then
it.
Eitan's pretty much on 24/7. Television, radio,
That's true.
wherever you want to turn on, anything you turn on, Eitan's there.
Hardest
But we got
working man in show business.
Yes, he really is. By the way, I just found out right before the show, guys.
Yes.
We have an unbelievable prize situation developing here.
Is that there always is something?
No,
at the
this
landmark.
one, this
Is
one
this
could
breaking
be the
news?
greatest prize package ever announced. What is the mecca of NFL football? Where's the one place on your bucket list you always want to go if you haven't been there? I've been there, luckily, but I go
I've
back
been
again
there,
and
but
again
I
and
know
again.
what you're saying.
The
Colin?
Oakland Coliseum.
No. After a flood or
Think about
before
it.
a flood?
Think about the history of football.
Ask the question again. I'm sorry.
What is the bucket list one football
Yeah.
facility in the National Football League everybody wants to go to if you haven't been there, and even if you have, you want to go back again?
Lambeau Field.
Exactly
Yes.
right.
Yes.
And guess who's playing in Lambeau Field in a couple of weeks?
Our Philadelphia Eagles.
Your Philadelphia Eagles. And guess what we're going to give away?
No.
We're not going to give it away tonight, but what we're going to do, 2 people in the crowd tonight here. You have to be here at Landmark Americana.
Which is not far for the listening audience.
Exactly. So everybody's going to get a ticket stub, right? And at the end of this, it's only an hour show.
No.
So at the end of an hour, you're going to find out 2 of you in this crowd tonight will be registered for the finals. So 2 people tonight will get a ticket. And by the way, the 2 people who register when we pick them out of the hat, they're going to get Eagles jerseys. We got a Dallas Goedert, And we got a Fletcher Cox jersey.
So the jerseys are tonight, no
the
matter
jerseys
what.
are for the 2 qualifiers tonight. You
So
follow
either
me
way,
so far?
yeah.
And then next Monday night, back here again, we will do it again. 2 qualifiers, 2 individual people, and then finally
2 more jerseys, I imagine.
2 more
Joe
jerseys.
Krause
That's
has them
4
ready
people.
to go, yeah.
And then on the Monday night, on this September 23rd, when we're back here again, that's 3 Monday nights from now, 2 final people will register. And on that night, of the 6 people who will be registered, 1 lucky winner will get tickets to Lambeau Field and fly to Green Bay on that Thursday night.
Fantastic.
How great is that? Now, are we providing airfare, Joe? You got to get there on your own. So you start driving as soon as the show's over. On Monday night, and you start driving to Green Bay.
It's not a terrible drive.
No, it's not. I've done it.
Really, yeah, I mean, I think a lot of us have driven far west, or at least Midwest, right, for different reasons.
I've driven all the way to Alaska and Hawaii.
I have
It's
no
a little
doubt
wet on the way to Hawaii, though.
that you have driven over that strait that freezes over from Alaska to Russia. You've made it.
I've been with the ice road truckers. I mean, but that's not about me. It's about the audience.
Well, you know what the best thing is, too, Tony? If you do take your own car, you get to park on somebody's lawn in Green Bay.
Exactly right.
That's
and
true.
it is the best tailgate.
And they won't tell you to get off my lawn.
No, seriously. Have you been to a tailgate at
I have
Lambeau
not.
Field?
I hear it's unbelievable.
It's the best tailgate in America. The people are friendly. Like, even NBA players can go there and not get into a fight.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
you're going to be shocked how friendly the people are.
They
Are
are.
you saying that Giannis could walk in there with a
Giannis
Cowboys
can come
jersey?
in with a Cowboys jersey, and everybody will be friendly to him. I went in there with a Harold Carmichael jersey, and people were like, they were inviting me into their cookouts. They have their little outhouses already there. Hey, come and use the outhouse in the parking lot. It is the most fan-friendly place on earth.
Unbelievable, man.
Not like the F lot here in South Philly.
No.
That's why they call it the F lot over the weekend. Yeah.
People get there way too early, apparently.
Exactly.
Oh, my
I
goodness.
said this last week on my show, on my Twitch show. Watch it. Somebody's going to, I hope the Eagle fans who start drinking at 7 a.m. on Sunday mornings don't do anything stupid enough to become viral video on Monday. And what did they do? They did something stupid enough to become a viral video and make the city of Philadelphia and the fan base look like morons again. And by the way, Mike Scott not off the hook, but I'm not going to get into that either because he's partially responsible. If he doesn't go in there and pull a stupid scarf off a guy's, and then all of a sudden people are upset about they had a coffin in the parking lot.
Yeah.
I've been doing that stuff since the 80s.
You've been
it's
burning
part
jerseys,
of being a
right,
fan.
all
They
that
burned
stuff.
Dallas jerseys in parking lots.
Right.
I went to Dallas and smashed pumpkins right in a bar in Plano, Texas, back in the 90s when the Cowboys were a dynasty. That's what you do when you're a fan.
Right.
And you know what you do if you're an NBA player? You just walk to your luxury box.
Exactly.
Don't worry about the tailgate.
Anyway, enough about that. We got a lot of football to talk
Yes,
about.
we do.
Mr. Monday Night later on will be making the much anticipated Stone Cold Monday Night 2 picks tonight.
You have to.
Not 1,
Right.
2.
Now, you've doubled up the research.
Yes, I have.
Right?
I've got a lot of material here. Look
I
at this.
see.
Look at this
I
preparation.
can't
here.
believe that.
You think I just stumble in here and
I know
sit
you
down?
don't. But that is amazing.
This is an amazing 8-ton show.
No, exactly.
That's it.
Well played.
It's all
sir.
up here.
Well played.
So we got a
You've
lot to
seen
do
show
here in the
prep.
next hour, guys. So we got that. So don't forget, everybody's going to get a ticket who's here.
Now, do we take breaks, or is this like the other show?
No, we take breaks.
Okay.
Now, on the Twitch stream, which we're on live now. Are we
Right.
on live, Robin? Twitch is up and running?
Yeah.
So twitch.tv, BrunoNation Live. I'll put up the stream chat so people can comment during the show live.
Make sure you tell McMullen and Colin that,
No, they'll see it.
No, I'm saying that they're hot even though we're in break.
When we go to breaks, we can still communicate with the people.
That's good information.
That's what, I know you love that stuff, John.
I tend to get blue when I
You
don't
never
think
know,
I'm hot.
man. I'm trying to save both of you here.
Yeah.
No, we don't work blue on the regular, but on the Twitch show, we can not go crazy. Not go like fighting guys in a parking lot.
I'm not
crazy.
going to get
No.
But if you want to come at me, bro, you come over here and you come at me. But anyway,
Well,
we're
you don't
on.
have a long scarf today, though.
Trevor from the 203's already checked in. What up, Eitan, he's saying. So
Love
people
it.
will start
What's up,
populating the board here. We got doubleheader football tonight. We'll get to that. But let's get back to the, as one of my old bosses used to say, let's bring it back to yesterday and the Eagles. The Eagles, people were booing. People were saying, oh, man, see, and then all of a sudden, they make the adjustments at halftime, and everything was good again in the world. John, there's no doubt everybody was talking about this team didn't, the starters didn't start. It was rampant throughout the NFL. Eagles, more so than anybody, it seemed, other than the Chicago Bears on Thursday night. looked like they had nobody played any meaningful snaps.
Colin and I got in a Twitter beef, which Colin reminded me of, about the lack of respect the Eagles played for the preseason. I'm not saying that's just the way they went about it. They decided can't prepare like you want anyway, so let's get everyone to week one as healthy as possible. In hindsight being 2020, if you think about the Washington Redskins, well, Case Keenum was in a quarterback battle. So he was trying, he was sharp. And I think that showed up early in the game. And then the Eagles kind of settled down and out-talented them. I think that's what a lot of us expected to happen. That's exactly what happened.
Is it fair? Because I think when I look at it in hindsight, and we have the benefit of it all the time, right? Monday night, Monday morning, you look back and you think the offense knocked the rust off faster than the defense. Overall, and which is rare because usually the defense doesn't suffer from not having a full preseason like the offense with the cohesion and the timing. It looked like by the third quarter, everything had been fine and knocked off for the offense, but you were still seeing a little bit with the defense. I know they answered, but that last backdoor cover, granted it was the backdoor cover, was still, I think, a reflection of the defense not having a complete game.
Well, I think that was Jim Schwartz had kind of went back into cover two mode, just try to bleed that clock. You had that big 19-play drive, and then it was just trying to get out of there with the win. So Jim doesn't care about covering, which I know upsets a lot of people.
No, I totally agree with you. Everybody's like, what's he doing? They should fire Jim Schwartz.
Yeah,
why is he allowing them to go down the field?
Somebody called that from the press box. That was a hit, man.
He knew that no matter what happened, the game was over. And so you're going to ask your players to go 100. And by the way,
Malik Jackson got hurt.
Exactly. You know what got me is that the same damn thing killed me Saturday with the LSU-Texas game. So I think I just was a little sore.
Just remember one thing. It's not about your fantasy team, and it's not about your betting. When you're watching a football game, the players want to win the game. They don't want your fantasy team, or they don't want your point spread
Now,
busted.
to be fair, I didn't bring up my fantasy team.
No, I did before you did.
Not yet. But
I don't know where this assumption came from. I'm keeping my mouth shut about that.
Eitan, you make a good point, though, about the offense and the defense, and actually the offense got clicking before the defense did. Usually in training camp, the defense whoops your butt for the first 2 weeks, and then the start of season, the defense is a little cleaner, a little fresher, because it's simple. Cover 2's cover 2, cover 4's cover 4, the front's the front. Offensively, it takes all 11 to succeed. It really does.
And by the way, Doug said that this week leading up to the game. Defense is probably going to be ahead of the offense. And you saw that Chicago and Green Bay, most notably.
And, you're 100% right. And
but you know what? We said that the other day. Defenses, are ahead of the offenses. Yet then we see 59 points by Baltimore, 43 by the Titans, 40 by Kansas City, 35 by Dallas, 32 by the Eagles, 33 by the Pats, 30 by the Rams, 30 by the Chargers, 31 by the Niners.
And that's my argument against the preseason not being important or is being important. There's some offenses that went out there and moved the ball really well against NFL defenses, whomever they played. So it's a double-edged sword in a way because, the Eagles starters didn't play, but
well, there's also the fact that the league makes it easy for the offense, so it's more difficult to play defense. And it gets more difficult for them as the offenses get sharper and sharper. But, there's all those things that play into it, but certainly the Eagles, especially their defensive backfield, struggled early. I think a lot of that had to do with Ronald Darby not getting much preseason work. Rasul Douglas, that was a bit of a surprise over Sidney Jones. The fact they flipped sides, Rasul had played most of the summer at right corner, so they put Darby at left corner. I think all these moving parts kind of hurt the Eagles' defense early.
No question. And the Eagles last year did start slow in a lot of games as well, too. So it really wasn't a surprise to me to start the game.
We can't go through that again.
We got lots more to
That's
talk
agony.
about. We're just getting started. We got lots more to talk about this hour as we count down to kickoff, coming up in an hour away from Monday Night Football, first part of a doubleheader. It's Tony Bruno. It's Eitan Shander. It's Colin Thompson. It's John McMullen. It's Joe Krause. It's the whole house here at Landmark Americana in Glassboro, New Jersey, right here on 97.3 ESPN and on twitch.tv, BrunoNation Live.
This is Mays and Eitan with Harry Mays and Eitan Shander on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN mobile app.
Coming up, a Tuesday edition of the Mays and Eitan Show.
So now you'll
More
see the,
positive
it's up here,
reaction
too.
from the Eagles game. We're not ready for Atlanta yet.
And we'll wrap up a full week 1 in the NFL and talk with
Who's in the
NJ.com's
building?
Matt Lombardo at 1
Twitch is in the
o'clock.
building.
Mays and Eitan, noon to 2,
Twitch is in the
97.3
building.
ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN app.
It's time for some straight talk. Look, you wouldn't spend more to get the exact same
See,
thing,
Robin
would you?
actually is the
No.
director.
So when I
So
tell
she'll
you that
switch
Straight
we
Talk
have only two
Wireless runs on
cameras,
the
but
same cell
in my
towers as
studio,
the big
we have
guys,
4
but charges
cameras,
up
so
to
she
half
can
the
switch
cost, you
Yes.
see where
Tone,
I'm going
Yes.
with this,
You're
right?
bringing us
Get
back out of
America's
the
best
out of the
4G
break.
LTE
You're bringing us back.
networks
Yes.
for less. The unlimited
By the way,
plan is
say hi,
$45 a
John,
month
say
with
hi to all
25
the
gigs
Twitch
at
people
high speed.
watching
Hi,
us on Twitch.
BrunoNation,
Straight Talk
Twitch
Wireless, everything
TV.
for
Feeling
less.
you, as my
Savings
great
may
friend
vary. See
Victor Rick
straighttalk.com.
Jacobs would say in Los Angeles.
Josh Hennick here on 97.3 ESPN.
Eitan
Monday
stood up, but
Football
we
is
are-
back in a great way to
let's
cap
see
off
what, now,
week
John,
1
we gotta
tonight
talk
here
about
on 97.3
injuries, and we'll do that,
ESPN.
but while people are
Saints,
during the break, we can
Texans is
continue
joining me
to
right
talk.
now,
You'll get a little
live from the
extra in your check, I
Mercedes-Benz
think, for participating in
Superdome.
this part
It's
of the show.
Larry Roth. Larry, how you
The
doing
one
today?
that, the one that
Doing great. Excited about
I just
the
saw
big
this stat.
game
This is
tonight
the one
and
I
the
like.
Big Easy
The
kicking
last
off Monday
number
Night
1
Football, of
overall
course.
pick to
Sports
win his
Plus
debut.
Network.
You know who it
I
was?
mean, last week you went
Last
on
number
for the
1
opening
overall
kickoff on
quarterback we're
Thursday
talking
night.
about.
The last
You told
number
every
1
one of your
quarterback
calls for the
selected
winner of the
in the
Bear-Packer
draft to
game.
win his debut
Everyone
game
who
as a
called
starter.
people, I can't make this
You know who it
claim, I
was?
can't make it up.
Not
We
offhand.
told everyone the big move,
It's gonna
the
be a
free
shocker
play
to
was to
most
go
people.
under the 46.5.
Because the number
Final
is-
score 10-3. Can't possibly have an
Where is
easier
it?
winner in your life.
I hate these guys,
Call
by the way,
now
these
at
radio
Sports
guys.
Plus Network.
The
You'll get the free
guaranteed
winner
locks.
tonight.
Oh, they drive me
In
crazy.
Big Easy, the Saints
They're
against
live
the
at the
Texans.
Superdome.
Here's the record
895
for starting quarterbacks playing their first game.
888
It's not good.
419
4-19-1.
Josh, we're going to give everyone the free winner of this matchup
You know who
tonight.
that one tie was?
I've never seen a
Kyler
game where
Murray
there's so many
yesterday, right?
factors that are
You
involved
know who the
here.
last
People
quarterback
try
to
to be
win
smart
as a
about
start?
this. There's no
I'm
need
gonna give it on the
to
air.
do it on your own.
I
Both
bet
teams
you I
have
could
a
give
lot
you
of different
50 guesses
personnel.
and
Of
you
course,
won't
the
get it.
Saints
Not because you don't know
lost
football.
Mark
You guys
Ingram,
both
the
know.
quarterback
Wait,
so it's the
offense.
number 1 pick?
Of course,
Number
on the
1
other side
overall
of the ball,
pick.
the
Number 1
Texans are missing
overall
some
pick.
key
Jamarcus
players.
Russell.
Lamar
No,
Miller
no.
obviously got hurt. So there's a
Well,
lot of key
that's
factors
that's
on both
bold.
sides of the
That could be
ball.
logical,
We
but
love
it's-
this
No, I mean,
matchup
he was,
tonight,
right?
Yeah,
Josh.
but he
We
didn't
want
win his
people
first
to
game.
win.
He had
It's
to
all
win.
about
Now,
winning,
remember,
people.
Now, is it a
Not about
season
flipping a
opener
coin on
or
your
just
own.
first game?
This is what we eat,
as a
breathe,
starter.
sleep. We love this matchup
Number 1
tonight.
overall
We're
pick,
going to give all
first game
calls
as a
for
starter,
free.
won the
Tonight's
game.
winner on this
And remember,
Monday
Murray
night
had a
opener,
chance because they got
888
creative.
895
Instead of-
How about the pick?
6555.
Yeah,
if he
Give
stepped out of
people
bounds.
call now.
Oh, the poor guy.
Texans Saints free winner.
That would have been- you know
But
what?
no, he's completing balls down. They get inside the
And you can
15,
hear all the
and
action
then they
today
start.
on
They start
97.3
keep throwing it instead of
ESPN
running. You
coverage
want a
begins at 7
touchdown
o'clock.
there. You didn't
Minute
win
15, everyone. Minute 15.
They could have
And
won
Larry,
that game
I know
right
that
there.
you guys
No.
at the Sports Plus
But if he
Network
doesn't
is
get
all
in,
about
game's over.
information.
Here's what I
That's
would
like they just showed the Minnesota Miracle. Like Stephon Diggs on that play.
Yep.
It's like to be that aware that nobody's in front of you, because all he had to do was step out of bounds, kick a field goal, they win. If he gets tackled, game's over.
Well, and 2, that interception that went through his hands at the end, I honestly would have caught it and went to go score. But really, you don't
Yeah,
have to. You
most
just-
people think that
Because
way,
that's what
yeah.
you do. I'm going to go
Exactly.
score. We need to
Exactly.
score.
Yeah,
We need
yeah,
to score.
exactly.
No, you actually just stepped out of bounds.
Exactly.
Now, of course, people overreact, but if you're in Miami, I don't think it's an overreaction that they stink. We knew they were going to stink.
Least talented team in football.
Absolutely.
No question.
And here's another one. The guy I really feel, Josh Rosen gets taken by Arizona, gets thrown out to the wolves with a horrible offensive line, right?
Now it's
And
worse.
now he goes to Miami. They
Even
take
worse.
him, and are you going to put him out there to the lines now?
Well, they're
Make him
going
a set-
to, and
like that.
his stock's going to plummet even more.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. He's the most unlucky guy.
New England's
in
going
the
to come in
NFL.
next year and give a
If you have
7th-round
unlimited data on your
pick.
network,
Can you guys hear me?
your data
Yes,
is
I hear you.
limited, and so are you.
All
All right, we got
With
30
the new
seconds.
New England's going to come in with a 7th-round pick and take him. 4 years from now, he's going to be a stud. They're going to offer him a veteran minimum.
Gigabytes at high speed, then 2G,
Am I right
which is
or what?
A
$25
10-year
a
deal
month
at
per
vet
line.
minimum. He's going to take it.
arrived at your destination.
There were a couple
Get the
backdoor
new
coverage
unlimited
yesterday.
plans.
They were-
Wireless
How about when the
total
Eagles started going on the field, I started
Available at
laughing.
Best
I'm
Buy.
like,
See terms and conditions at
or no, when the
TotalWireless.com.
Redskins
You
started
may
doing it.
not
And you know
notice
people
it's a
hate that
protein
prevent
bar.
defense, even
Dark
though it's the right
chocolate
thing to
and
do.
do.
Yeah, but I knew it.
You hate the picket
Once
fence.
they got the ball,
Yeah.
remember they
It
had
works every time.
Yes, they had two holding calls on that
Nature
drive.
Valley
The Redskins,
Pink Dark
and they still
Chocolate
got
Protein
it.
It's the Monday Night
Brutal, man.
Football Countdown
Brutal.
to
Coming
Kickoff
back.
Show with Tony Bruno on 97.3 ESPN, live from the landmark Americana in Glassboro.
Oh man, I got football pulsing
just the
through my
union when you
veins.
come back and just what I mean to the city and what the city means to me, being in them green colors and just being a part of this organization, this family is just something special for me. So I couldn't think of it being any other way, but before the game, I was actually kind of calm. And I was like, and then I had the penalty first off because I had to get that out the way, and that was good. My teammates were like, man, chill out, man. I said, I know, I just had to get that out, but it was good.
That's Deshaun Jackson yesterday, the number 10 guy.
Yeah, there you have
it. Pretty good.
Pretty good. Moves pretty well, too.
Yeah, he still can run fast. Really, really fast.
He has not lost a single step.
It's unbelievable.
How is that possible?
He's 120 pounds.
120. He's 32 years old. I watched him all summer just outrun 22-year-olds. It's amazing.
I usually run 22-year-olds too, but it's women who are chasing me, and I just got to get away.
Is that right? That's how you keep your conditioning?
That many women are chasing you, huh, Tony? You still got it, man.
No, not really. By the way, we are brought to you by Nuts and Bolts of the Game. I love this segment. Nuts and Bolts of the Game, presented by Tom Adams Windows and Carpets. We were talking home improvement in windows and nuts and bolts. Eitan got a chainsaw. He's going to chop down a tree tomorrow.
That's right.
Make sure you put this live on Twitch.
Is Harry helping you with this?
No.
Harry doesn't do anything.
You should do it live on the show.
Actually, I'm going to say goodbye to Eitan because this is not going to go well.
No.
Yeah.
Can you get it on Twitch?
I think we can get it on Twitch. We can definitely get the video out.
Do it live on Twitch.
Because yesterday we were at Toll Man Joe's and we gave away a
Great
ticket,
bar.
my Eagles ticket to the game because I couldn't go.
That was fun.
And we had people in the go outside and play cornhole. And Miss Robin set up a camera so we can go live to it, and Luigi did the play-by-play.
That's awesome.
Top shelf.
That's the advantage of having a Twitch stream because you can show stuff in addition to listening to it.
Right.
You can still listen-only option, but people want to see our beautiful faces. They
No,
want
having
to
the
they want to
cameras.
put a voice to. They want to put
I
a
don't
face
know
to the
if
beautiful voices
They
that they
do.
hear.
I don't know if that's true. Maybe Colin.
No.
You're stuck on
Tom.
camera, John. Sorry, brother. Especially that seat.
There's a reason why I'm down the end
Absolutely.
today.
He showed up casually late. Right.
Now we've got Malik, the Malik Jackson injury,
He's
pretty
out.
much under the radar, but that doesn't look good, John.
No, it doesn't. Doug called it significant. He wouldn't say it's season ending, but he's going to be out for a while. Best case scenario. Generally, he had a walking boot on his foot after the game. You start talking about foot, you think about Liz Frank injuries, you think about
Jones
Achilles
fracture.
injuries, maybe Jones fracture, significant. Think about Jalen Mills. He's still not back.
Yep.
It's been a calendar year from that Liz Frank injury that he had. So you're not going to have Malik Jackson for a while, and that's a big injury because that's a really good player, really unique player.
He's one of the top 5 rushers, defensive
interior
pass rushers in the league.
And you're adding depth to a position that needs a ton of depth. You're going to rotate guys through, especially in the higher tempo NFL we're in now. The college game is bled into the NFL instead of being vice versa. You need depth at that position. And yesterday they rolled through, but that hurts when you lose a guy like Malik.
And you know what happens? The first thing you hear is Chris Long. Are they going to make the phone call?
Chris is done. He's on a mountain somewhere.
You're not gonna
Chris,
pull-
I'll tell you what, and I joked about this earlier, but it's serious. Chris is a marijuana advocate. He's got to stop smoking weed, number one, if he wants to come back, because he's got to pass the test.
Right.
Wait, you're going to say that to Eitan, too, if he wants to do this show?
No.
And, well, hey,
I don't
I'm
think
not
that's
making any
possible.
judgments. You just got to pass the test.
Right.
Luckily,
And-
I did not have to pass any test to walk.
Wait a minute,
in
they
there.
still test for marijuana?
Yeah.
I thought that was cool.
No, that's the NBA, man.
Yeah. Now,
still-
NBA tests for marijuana.
No,
The NFL
But they're
tests
pushing for it.
marijuana
Once.
on, ironically, between 420
420, which
and-
is a joke.
and
I-
August
I-
1st. That's when you get tested. If you pass the test one time,
that's
You're
it.
done.
you're done. You,
can
never
do
get
whatever
tested.
you
Now,
want.
PEDs, I've had people, I was in Gainesville, Florida, where my girlfriend went to school. They just drove up from Orlando and tested me. I've got tested at Temple. I've got tested in Cape May. They'll
So it's
drive
random. That you just,
random.
Wow.
But for street drugs, once a year.
Yeah.
That's
Now
why you
the
have to have
problem is though, Colin,
Street
if you,
drugs, Tony.
if
See,
you
that's
don't
a lot
pass
more-
that test,
Oh, you're in the
then
club.
then you're in the club. Then you get tested
10
a
times,
lot.
10 times a month.
Yeah.
That's why I always recommend calling Ontario Smith and getting your own personalized
Yes,
Whizzinator.
That's
yes.
right.
You don't leave home without the Whizzinator in the back seat of your car because it's
Well,
not
you
an
know,
illegal.
Eitan's got one.
No,
He's
no,
got
no.
a Whizzinator.
listen. I tried out in Ohio to do that. Right. I took a test for. I worked at a radio station briefly. It was maybe for like a 10-day stretch, and it was run by the HR. So they tested. Normally what radio station would test? So I tried the Whizzinator thing, and I tried to murky up the test and everything, and it just kept coming back, murked, and I had to do it again.
You're diluted.
Yep,
Do
diluted.
they have those on Amazon?
So finally, it came back and I got
Definitely.
nailed.
Great
Yes.
question, Tony.
Yes,
But
they do.
But here's the good thing about the Whizzinator. And again, I'm not encouraging young people listening to the show.
Well, it depends on what you're getting tested for.
But if you have one of those in the trunk of your car and you get stopped by a cop, and it's just urine in there, is that an illegal substance? Are they going to arrest you?
Depends on what's in the urine.
No, if it's clean
How
urine.
hot the urine is,
No,
right?
if it's clean urine, you just have your friend urinate on your behalf. You know he doesn't have any.
I don't think it's illegal to transfer blood
you're
or
allowed
urine.
to have a Whizzinator.
Yeah. Is it active
I don't
or
think
loaded?
a cop might ask.
Well, it's like a gun,
you got
though,
some
right?
interest.
But is it like having a
Is
bong?
the gun
a clean
loaded?
bong?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a weed guy.
No,
but
listen, if any type of resin, any type of activity on your apparatus, if it's a water pipe, bong, if it's a pipe, any type of activity on that, and you're screwed.
Well, and the second
If
thing
it's
with
clean, then you can get away with it.
Yeah, because there's nothing in it.
Right.
the second thing with Chris Long, though, Tony, unlike you would think with the weed that he would gain weight, but he's actually lost weight. He probably got to put on 20 pounds.
But it's like Gronk, though. When you stop playing, though, you don't eat as much. It's a way different lifestyle. Like Gronk can't come back. He's a stick. He'll get hurt even worse.
Yeah. And that whole munchies thing comes from old. You know that's.
Is that urban legend?
No, it's just
Urban Dictionary. Where does it come from?
The weed has gotten significantly better.
Well, I assume Chris has got the best.
That's what I'm saying. You smoke the best of the best. You're not sitting there hungry all the time. That's stupid weed that people smoked 30, 40 years ago.
All right. Well, the point is he's got to pass the test. That's all I'm saying.
Eagles,
There's got to be 5 or 6 other people you can go to right now without pulling somebody out of retirement.
Well, I most notably, Brandon Graham, Vinny Curry can kick inside. They're both very versatile.
Yep.
People forget Tim Jernigan. Those first 6 games of 2017, Tim Jernigan was dominant. I mean, that was awesome with Fletcher Cox and Tim Jernigan. Then the injuries kicked in last year, was sort of totally off the hook for him, essentially a redshirt year as he came back from the herniated disc. So he's completely healthy. So that's number one. He's a starter. Hassan Ridgway's there. They got Bruce Hector on the practice squad. That's what I think they're going to do. Right away, they're just going to stay in-house and see how it works out.
Now, B-Hockey 1973 on our Twitch stream wants to know if there's diet weed. Everything is low-calorie. But weed apparently has gone the other way. It's like high alcohol content beer that Miss Robin drinks. She likes the doubles and the triples, because you have to have the triple.
Is there like a White Claw version?
Shouldn't they have low potency weed?
Is that like
too?
a vape? Is that vaping? Is that the diet weed?
I don't know. I don't smoke.
Neither do I.
Well, I don't know.
Don't look at me.
You start with the weed questions, and you're looking at Colin and me when you got the expert to the right.
I don't know.
There's
John and I are
Do you really want the
Yes.
answer? There actually is. Do you really want the answer?
See?
So there's this
Got to go to the expert.
It's a liquid
The skunk
substance
weed?
that's been fermented, and you have a tab, and you dab it like in your tongue, and it's basically like you walk around, and it's a very, very slow dosage for it.
Do they have White Claw weed?
No,
they
that's
don't have any-
the essential. That's essentially White Claw weed. Yes, White Claw weed.
By the way, there's a White Claw shortage. Did you see that story?
I did.
Is there a White Claw in the house tonight? Do we have any behind the bar here?
It's triple the price.
Exactly. Did you see this?
I did.
It's true. I think it started in the Hamptons, right?
I don't
And
know
then
where it started.
It's ground
It's
zero.
a national
Well,
outrage.
it is ground zero. Yeah.
It is a national outrage.
And it's
as somebody
football
once said.
season.
Well, I don't know if you know this, Tony, but people tend to get into fads. So as soon as
of
something,
course.
boom, White Claw.
White Claw.
How
Now
could-
everybody's got to have it.
Has anybody on this panel drank a White Claw?
I've
'Cause
never
I
tasted
have
a
not.
White.
Me
I have
neither.
not.
I remember when I always used to have a bottle of seltzer water and tonic for somebody comes over wants a gin and tonic or seltzer.
Right.
Now everybody wants spiked everything. Spiked tea, spiked seltzer,
No, you're right.
spiked hair.
Classic.
That's not coming back though. Not for me
Not
anyway.
spiked
no.
ham, no. What about Zima? That's not coming back.
They
That's
did. They brought it back like 2 years ago,
Is
and
that
it
right?
failed
I
again,
thought
like it did
that's
the
what
first
this
time.
is, White Claw.
Yeah, essentially, it's the same
Yeah.
thing. And you're right, Tony. Classic drinks, gin and tonic.
Exactly.
what you need.
Highballs.
Here we go.
Manhattans.
Millennials are the worst.
Well, they are.
Millennials are the worst.
I didn't say
Spice
that.
weed.
You said it. I didn't
see it on
say it.
Twitch.
What is it?
Pumpkin spice weed. I see it
Pumpkin
there.
spice
Pumpkin
weed.
spice
How do
weed.
we not have any pumpkin spice CBD oil?
Millennials.
Nah.
Come on.
Every generation is the same.
Exactly.
There's some good, there's a lot bad, and most are in between.
All right, John. How
Every
did
generation.
Dallas Goddard do yesterday?
Interestingly, we'll get into the hardcore football talk, 11 versus 12 personnel. A lot of people thought the Eagles were going to go more 12 because of how good Dallas Goedert is.
They didn't.
Well, they already played more 12 than anybody else in the NFL last season. It was a little bit up. They were more effective in 11, but that's because of Deshaun Jackson, obviously, and he just had that kind of game. And I think that's going to be the Eagles this year. It's going to be somebody different every week. Maybe it is Dallas Goedert one week. Maybe
Very
it's Nelson
Patriot-like.
Agholor.
Very Patriot-like. 3 running backs, a bunch of receivers.
Yeah.
Last week, obviously yesterday, it was a Deshaun Jackson day. But, running back by committee, if anybody heard the sports bash, I'm done with that. I'm tired of that. 4 years of this nonsense. Pick a running back, Doug.
Would it be Miles Sanders?
He looked good.
I think they're all capable.
Howard
of
looked
it.
good, too.
Well, if you're going to pick
And so did
one.
Sproles.
All right, we got to go to
I
a break.
pick Jordan Howard. He's my lead back.
So would I.
See, the debate rages here. We're live at
Well,
Landmark
football guys
Americana.
say Miles
It's
Sanders.
Monday Night Football
Jordan
countdown to kickoff. Live at a Landmark Americana, Glassboro, New Jersey. Right next to the Landmark Liquor Store. It couldn't be any more convenient. Could it? Why did I not move to Jersey? Coming back with much more, plus your chance to become a registrant to go to Green Bay in a couple of weeks. A registrant, not registrar. That's
No,
different.
that is
We're
different.
coming right back.
That's
Landmark
in Rome.
Americana. Tony Bruno and the gang. Stick around. We'll be back in a couple of minutes.
Krause is going to be like, all right, guys, let's talk about football here.
With a preview
You didn't
of
talk
the
about
Week 1
football?
NFL Monday night doubleheader.
Dallas Goedert.
In Game 1, Ian
Got
Eagle
some
and James
football.
Lofton will have the call
Tony,
from New Orleans as the Saints take
Mr.
on the
Monday
Texans.
Night section,
After that,
segment out of the
Kurt Warner
break,
and I
all
will
right?
be
Oh, that's
in
coming up next
Oakland.
already?
Next, yep.
Between
Man,
the Raiders and the
6:30 now.
Broncos.
I wonder if
Join us
there's
for an
white
exciting
claw in the
doubleheader.
liquor
And here the NFL
I bet
offseason
you- I don't know if
from
there's a
West
shortage.
You know there's no laws when you're
Football
drinking White
lives
Claw.
on 97.3
Have you had White Claw?
ESPN
I've
FM.
tasted it. They are very refreshing, but it's not on beer guy. Just
Is it a
strictly
chick
beer.
drink or is it dudes
Yeah,
drinking
very
too?
much so.
What does it take? I'm sorry, you need to get in?
It tastes very refreshing.
Refreshing? Like,
Yeah, it's hot or it's very it's a pure seltzer, but clean. It's not
Is
like
that a freight train rolling through your bedroom every night? Hi, I'm Dr. Gregory DeFelice,
Right,
and
right.
I have a solution
So
for
it's
you.
just
I have
seltzer
sleep
and alcohol?
apnea, and yes, I snored like that freight train. I cured my sleep apnea and stopped snoring with a comfortable oral appliance
That's the problem
without
with
surgery,
trendy shit, is that it's
medication,
probably,
or
like,
CPAP
really
machine.
good,
People
but
ask me
because
all the
it's
time,
trendy,
can this
Yeah,
work for
that's
me?
when I
Could
don't
this
do it.
work
When it
for my
becomes a
partner?
trend, I
Yes,
ignore it.
But it
they
probably
can
does,
and
yeah.
they do. Over the last 3 years,
I can
I've helped
get out
people
anyway.
just like you stop snoring and get better
Am
sleep.
I- should I
The
be
best
on the
part is
Wi-Fi?
they're covered
Yeah,
by
it's the
PPO
guest one. There's
medical
no
insurance.
password.
So what are you waiting for?
Find out why people from the bridges to the beaches are coming to see Dr. DeFelice with
I know I'm
offices
all
in
over the
Hamilton,
place with White
Manahawkin,
Claw,
and Cape May
Grog,
Courthouse.
weed.
He's
Number
conveniently
one.
located
Well,
to
who's
serve
the
you.
How did that
Visit
start? That started with
HamiltonBraces.com to set up your free
Yeah, I said
consultation and
Chris.
2
start
minutes,
sleeping
guys,
better
2 minutes.
because you deserve it.
Hi,
2
it's
minutes
Jamie,
back.
Progressive's number 2 employee.
Yep.
Leave a message at the... Hey, Jamie. It's me, Jamie. This is your daily pep talk. I know
You're not
it's been
getting this
rough
kind of
going
breakdown
ever since people
segment
found
anywhere
out
else
about your a cappella
on a
group,
Monday
Mad
night show,
Harmony,
are you?
but you will bounce back.
important
I mean,
stuff you
you're the
gotta
guy
get to.
always helping people find coverage options with the
Not
Name Your
since
Price
the
tool.
old Monday
It should
night,
be you giving me the pep
remember the
talk.
pregame
now
shows
get
that
out
used to
there,
have,
hit that high note,
who was
and
the
take
giant
Mad
guy?
Harmony all the way to nationals this year. Sorry.
Ali, what's his name?
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by
No,
state
he's
law.
one of the Giants
Hi,
guys.
Tom
And
Bodett.
ESPN had a show
Just
called
doing
Monday
a little
Night
meditating
Matchup.
to relax.
Oh, Ari Wolf?
Right with me.
No. He played for the Giants.
You don't have to use Tom. I mean,
Not
make your
Sherman,
own.
was it?
Well,
Yeah.
if you need
Ali
to
Sherman.
relax, Motel
Ali
6
Sherman.
is a great place to
We're
get
talking
your
like
chakras straight.
80s, I guess.
Across the country or just across
Ali
town?
Sherman.
You can clear your head
Josh is
without
coming
clearing
out
out your
front.
bank
He
account.
said-
We're
I'm
coming out
Tom
what?
Bodett,
Josh said he's
savings
coming out of the
guru
Peters.
for Motel 6.
Okay.
And we'll leave the light on for you, literally and metaphorically.
My digestive system used to make me feel sluggish. Now I feel great.
We
That's
should
because
get
I
some White
increased my
Claws
fiber
brought in
intake
to
with the
taste.
Metamucil 2-week challenge, and I'm still hooked. I just took
White Claw
Metamucil
make a
every day
sampler?
for 14 days. It's really that easy. Metamucil traps and removes the waste that weighs you down, so you feel lighter
run it
and more
off,
energetic.
we have
Now I
switchboard.
never want
That's
to go
how
back
we
to that
run
heavy
off of
feeling. Are you ready for the Metamucil 2-week challenge? For a coupon and daily support, sign up at Metamucil.com today.
30 seconds.
Walmart and
I talked to the
Walmart.com.
guy.
Tuesdays are the worst.
About
They're
Josh,
always
did you
standing
had,
between you and the downhill part of
you
the
had,
week. But
White
now they're a
Claw?
lot less worse.
Never.
Wing Tuesdays at B-Dubs
30
are buy
back,
one,
Tone.
get
Coming
one
back
free
shortly.
traditional wings.
Tone, are the
So
drops
Monday,
working or what?
You may kick off the week.
What's that?
Wednesday,
No,
you
I
may
got
have
the
a
Monday
cool
night theme
nickname.
song. I used that.
Thursday, you might
I don't have
have
any
this
White Claw
weekend,
drops.
but watch your back because
Doug
Tuesdays
Peterson
just
sound before
officially
you come up,
became
Tone.
Okay,
Wing
gotcha.
Tuesdays. Buffalo Wild Wings. Roar!
Buy one traditional wings order and get one of equal value free. Participation and promotional details vary by location. Check in with your favorite Buffalo Wild Wings to learn more about this offer.
It's the Monday Night Football Countdown to Kickoff Show with Tony Bruno on 97.3 ESPN, live from the Landmark Americana in Glassboro.
When we put the run game together, we talked about this, we think about the backs and who's going to be in on certain plays, and just kind of the way the game went, the type of running game that it became. Darren's number was on some of those plays, and yet as the game wore on, it started getting Miles in there a little bit more and getting Jordan in there a little bit more, and you saw exactly that great run by, Miles had a couple nice runs, late in the game, third quarter, fourth quarter, the touchdown that came back. So you can see how dynamic that can be, and we're just going to continue to work it that way. Sometimes it's the hot hand, but sometimes it's based on game plan and who's in at that particular time.
Back here live at the Landmark on the Monday Night Football Countdown to Kickoff Show with Tony Bruno, Eitan Shander, John McMullen, and Colin Thompson as we come to you on a Monday night. Every Monday night here on 97.3 ESPN. We'll be live here at the Landmark. Following next week, Tony, we'll start and we'll be here 6 to 8 o'clock. Next to the prize that we gave away at the Great American Pub before the season kicked off, 2 tickets to Lambeau Field on a Thursday night is a spectacular prize.
Absolutely.
Must be present to win tonight. We'll qualify 2 individuals. We'll give the Dallas Goedert jersey away. I'll take the Fletcher jersey off. We'll give that away as well. And then we'll qualify 2 tonight for that trip to Lambeau.
Is that all sweaty and stuff? I don't know if people want to take a game-worn, a pregame show-worn jersey.
Not long. We're not on the air long enough for this to heat up, so we're good.
Maybe after a 2-hour show. Right? After 1, you get away with it.
All right, we got the Monday night pick coming up here. But
Mr. Monday Night.
Before we broke, and we were talking about, and Doug just talked about it from yesterday, the running back by committee. Jordan Howard, what I did see yesterday, he does, after he gets hit, he still keeps going, man. There was one run where he was stopped, and he still got like 6 yards after it.
Yeah,
it's a pretty amazing skill.
And that was late in the game. And obviously, Jordan Howard's a volume runner. Mm-hmm. You're talking about a guy who's got already 2,000-yard seasons in Chicago. The one time he didn't have 1,000 yards, he had over 900 last year. And the Eagles are giving them the football 6 times. It worked out, but I don't understand the sentiment. I don't understand. And the second thing about that, Tony, is he's a one-and-done guy. I mean, if you think about it, last year of his rookie contract, Eagles don't value him as a well-rounded 3-down back. So if he has a great season, they're just going to let him walk, get the compensatory pick back. If he has a bad season, they aren't going to want him anyway. So he's one and done. What do you do with a running back who's going to be one and done? If you're Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys, you run him into the ground.
So I wonder if the touches and the carries should have come not necessarily at the expense of the other 2 guys in the second half, but more so in place of maybe a couple of passes, throwing too much in that imbalance we saw in the play call.
I'll ask Colin. Colin, have you ever met a running back anywhere that didn't want the football, that didn't feel better with the more touches he got? You guys, you're giving a guy 5 touches, 6 touches, 6 touches. Nobody gets in a groove.
But you can give a guy real quick. My point of what I was saying, Colin, was that you can give Howard more touches without taking it away from the other 2 guys when you look at the play calling imbalance of the first half.
Yeah. I just think that the one thing that's gone unnoticed with this whole entire thing is Matt Nagy is a product of the Andy Reid offense. So is Doug Peterson.
Yeah.
It's all in the same. There's never really been a bell cow running back in any of those offenses ever. I was with Jordan last year in Chicago. He had a great year, but there were stretches, there was games where he barely saw the field. I mean, it was almost to a point where he's even going to be active.
Was that like a flow tempo thing?
They just want to. They like their quarterback in shotgun. They want to take mismatches in the passing game, and they're going to run the ball to keep the clock moving, and they're going to throw. They're going to throw it to the backs out of the backfield as well, as we've seen many a times. They like a plethora of options.
A lot of people were complaining about Darren Sproles' usage early, and they're saying, "What are you doing here?"
And by the way, he did well.
And to me, I see that as Doug saying, You're healthy. You went through so much.
Yeah.
Let's go out there and do some stuff. So a lot of people I saw on Twitter during the game, what's he doing? Why? What's with Darren Sproles? You got these other guys.
They have so many pieces, though. Why can't use all three of them? I get what you're saying. Pick one and roll with them, but they have so many weapons. It's like saying, you know what, we should feature him guy, like you said.
But that's what
they're going to feature one guy every week.
You do have so many weapons in the passing game, and that's where I'm thinking all you need is a Jordan Howard type to pound the football in the middle, to get those 4 or 5 yard rushes, set up play action to all those receivers. I think that works. And I agree with what you said about Andy Reid, the Chiefs, Doug Peterson, all of that I agree with. But also a lot of people don't realize the Eagles badly back in 2017 wanted Christian McCaffrey. If Christian was here, he's a 3-down back, obviously. They wanted Dalvin Cook when they didn't get Christian McCaffrey. If Dalvin's here, he's a 3-down back. They've been looking for a 3-down back. They can't find one. But my theory is just pick the best one that you have and let them get into the football game. Let them get that feel. Josh Adams last year had 2 games with over 20 carries. That's what I said on the show earlier. It wasn't Jim Brown, but he had over 80 yards both games. Was effective both times. The 666.
That's Satan.
Think about that.
That's Satan. You know automatically that's a bad thing, right?
Yes.
I mean, you don't need any type of film.
Yes.
You don't need to go to the film room on Monday for that one, Tony.
Is there a possibility that Doug Peterson is a Satanist?
He's possessed.
Is he possessed?
Do we need an exorcism?
We do.
You know, my mom has performed those. I'm serious.
What about you, though? What happened to you?
I missed.
Hey, you know what time it is, guys?
She was exhausted.
All right, enough about the running back by committee. Barstool, I guess, tonight is reporting that Gronk is going to come back in Week 14.
No.
And again, that's I'm attributing.
Hey, you know what? That's enough time for him to start putting weight back on and getting healthy.
Week 14. Wow.
That's plenty of time.
How much of that is walking into a situation that's just handcrafted for you to play 4 or 5 games to win another Super Bowl ring? Because Antonio Brown, Josh Gordon looked pretty damn good.
Yep. You know how much of that is?
You don't need
the guys
Gronk
from
to win a Super Bowl.
Barstool who are from Boston and are Patriot honks want Gronk to come back, and they talk to him.
They're willing it.
And they said, hey, Gronk, you're going to come back, and he's sitting there and he's BSing like he always does. Yeah, maybe by Week 14. And all of a sudden, now I'm not saying they're wrong, and I'm not saying it can happen. I'm just saying that
makes sense,
though.
though.
David Portnoy, the school presidente, is a Boston hunk. Let's be honest, and he admits it.
You think he's really coming back?
Honestly,
I never thought he was retired. I mean, why?
I did. I was so beat up, and I'm like, oh, he looks so frail, your career's over. Lose the weight. Lose the muscle. Do it. Don't beat yourself up. It's tedious. Trust me. That's what I'm doing right now.
Saw that with
to keep
Andrew
it going.
Luck.
Speaking of something that's not tedious, you know what time it is, boys.
I know what that music means.
It is time for Mr. Monday Night to unsheath, uncloak, uncover, unvarnish.
Unsheath.
The moment you've been waiting for an entire year almost. I don't know the exact number of days.
You ever get caught when you're unsheathing?
It depends. Sometimes good, sometimes bad.
Right.
We have 2 games tonight, fellas.
We do.
And I don't like to just play favorites all the time because a lot of underdogs over the weekend came up big. But the Saints at home tonight are now 7-point favorites in this first game. The over-under is 52. I know you like the under, right, Eitan?
Last year, I think you didn't have 10 games Monday night did not hit 50 points. I think that's the number right there. 50 points on a Monday night is tough to hit. And I know we had some offense over the weekend, but just in general, hitting that number on a Monday night, historically last year, was very difficult to hit. And I just think that is a trap right now. I'm with you. I like New Orleans.
Yeah, I'm not touching the over-under.
I think
you guys like the over-under?
Under 52.
I like the over. I hear what Eitan's saying, but I look at the Saints in the Superdome.
Yeah.
The fast track and Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, Deshaun Watson's not just going to go run around and throw the ball into the dirt.
Duke Johnson, and the addition of Duke Johnson is something I talked about enough. Stills isn't healthy. I don't know if he's playing, but they're going to have plenty of people to throw it to.
And they have a left tackle. They have a left tackle.
They do. I understand they trade for Laramie Tunsil, but you guys could have looked 10 times last year and broken down matchups and said, well, I like the fact that they've got this guy they can throw the football to, and this guy they can throw the ball. I'm just going with the numbers.
I'm going to go over
as
well.
There's no emotion behind the numbers,
I think
Tony.
there's a consensus on the over. If you want to play the over, go right ahead. But I'm taking the Saints. I'm laying the 7.
And you'll take the over.
And I'll take the over as a side thing. I'm not going to hitch my wagon to the over.
I thought I could at least convince Colin, man.
We just don't know about the Houston Texans yet. We think we know about New Orleans. We probably do know about New Orleans, but what are the Houston Texans going to be?
Bill O'Brien doesn't know what the Houston Texans are.
They got hot last year, right? They started 0-4, I believe, and they went on a crazy run.
Listen, if Bill O'Brien can't coach his way into at least a wild card, he should be fired. 2 of the 4 quarterbacks in that division are cooked. Now, the Saints, though, they don't throw. They're not bombing the ball down the field to Michael Thomas every time. They're moving it mid-range. They're throwing the ball out of the backfield. They can score, but it might take some time.
Well, they go about it a different way because Drew doesn't have the huge arm. But, hey, whether you're throwing it 60 yards downfield to Deshaun or you're throwing it 5 yards and Kamara takes it 60, it's the same thing.
All right, let's get to the second game, fellas, because this is a rarity. It only happens once on Monday Night Football. 2 games for the price of 1. And as you notice, we're not charging you for these. These are absolutely free. You would normally pay $49.95, $39.95 in some places. Maybe other places, $29.95. But you know what you're paying right here tonight? Because you're at Landmark Americana and listening to the show on 97.3 ESPN and watching on Twitch TV. You're getting it absolutely free.
There's not even a 900 number associated.
No numbers to call, no operators standing by. The second game, the Raiders. Will they bounce back after the whole debacle of Antonio Brown? Did they
What's going on with Antonio?
circle the wagon? Will they circle the wagon
to me and
say, fellas, will John Gruden have the confidence of the locker room?
Come on.
Will somebody call Mike Mayock a cracker again tonight at halftime on ESPN when it's late and nobody's watching anymore? I'm taking the Raiders tonight. I'm taking the Raiders tonight to win and cover the 1.5.
Is there a prop bet on Berman calling Mayock a cracker?
No, not yet. Maybe offshore. The over-under is only 42 in that game. I'm taking the Raiders. I'm taking both favorites tonight.
Out of your mind.
New Orleans and the Oakland Raiders against the Denver Broncos.
Oakland at home?
Oakland at home in the black hole.
Denver is going to run all over them. They finally have some sense of stability at the quarterback position.
You're going against Mr. Monday Night.
You're going against South Jersey's own Joe.
No, I'm not going against. I'm not going against you. I'm just offering a different perspective. The pick is in, Mr. Monday Night.
The pick is in, and the Miami Dolphins with the first pick select
Tua. I think that's going to happen week 3, right?
Broncos, Vic Fangio, defense.
Yeah, I'm going
Broncos.
Right? I mean,
well, you guys are just really...
Vic Fangio is an underrated coach. Vic is an underrated coach.
But you guys just don't understand Mr. Monday Night's history. You just don't understand.
We'll find out.
Yes, we will.
You took Oakland, man. Really?
Yes, I did.
Oh, I can't wait to
Raider
see this
Nation,
play out.
feeling you. We're coming back, though. We're going to wrap this baby up live at Landmark Americana. I know we're having too much fun. What are we supposed to do? Be really serious? Come on.
It's impossible.
Plus, we're going to pick the winners of the qualifiers who may be going to Green Bay to watch Eagles Green Bay Packers on Thursday Night Football in 3 weeks. Stick around.
I like the Vic Fangio hire. Sorry.
Wake up.
It's universal.
Can I get a root canal
My bad.
instead?
I didn't know where.
That's okay.
People strongly dislike
No, I like
the
Vic. I was with
process
him in Chicago.
of moving.
He's like a grumpy old school
Because let's
coach.
face it,
It's like
it's
Mike
hard.
Zimmer.
Told me about all the Italian places to eat
But if
near
you've got to
Chicago
do it,
and where to go.
make
He
it
was
as
great.
painless as possible.
What about
Call
Hitchens
Clark's
in
Moving
Cleveland? Do you think
Storage
that's
in
going to
Rio
blow
Grande
up
for your
fast if
next
that thing
local,
goes off the
long
rails in
distance, or
January?
international move. Clark's provides
coach,
all the
Freddie
packing,
Hitchens?
storage,
Fred,
and
yeah.
transportation
Fred,
services.
that was an awful
Visit Clark's
hire.
Moving
They
and
need
Storage
to
at
trade for an offensive
clarksmoving.net.
lineman.
Great
Yeah,
news from
their
Sprint.
offensive
The
line
wait
is
is
bad.
finally over. The all-new
I
Samsung Galaxy
love
Note 10 has
Delaney
arrived.
Walker saying
Get the power of
they are who
performance
we
and
thought they
productivity
were.
called the
I love
Delaney
Delaney. He's
Sprint
a
Flex
stud.
League. That's right. Get the Galaxy
You
Note
have one on your
10 for
fantasy
less
team
than
by
$20
any chance?
an hour.
Delaney
audio if
you
With
want
amazing
it.
features like intelligent all-day battery and super fast charge, you'll have the power that
Delaney
lasts
Walker?
more than your day with just
He's
minutes
been
of
good
charge.
every. I mean, he was good with the
Every year,
Niners,
stop there.
no matter where he
You'll
is.
also experience the power of the S Pen, which combines air
Yeah.
gestures, remote photos, and handwriting to text all in one
Yes.
magic wand. And when you switch, you'll get Sprint's 100% total satisfaction guarantee. Try it for 30 days, love it, or get your money back. To learn more about the Galaxy Note 10, visit your local Sprint store, sprint.com/Galaxy Note 10, or call 800-SPRINT-1 today.
$19.79 a month after $19.80 monthly credit applied within 2 bills with Blue Credit 18-month leasing and line of service. If you cancel early, remaining balance due. Excludes
Oh, we
tax,
have
coverage,
Delaney?
offer not
They are
available.
who we thought they were?
$30 activation fee and restrictions apply. Guarantee applies to
Yeah,
new
yeah.
line. Select exclusions apply.
Does this guy look like he's a sports betting analyst? He looks like a preacher.
Pros, when the
looks
job
like
demands more of the supplies you use most,
What is he wearing?
start
Look at
with
that guy.
Lowe's.
That
Because
guy's
at
the
Lowe's,
ESPN
we stock the right
sports
quantities you
betting
need
analyst.
for any size
That's
job
Gordon
and
Minshew.
at everyday savings.
Doesn't he look like a
up to
monk that you
30%
would
off
find like
drywall,
a
drywall
cloistered monk
accessories, and
somewhere?
insulation
I don't
every day
like
when you
this
buy
daily
in bulk.
wager. I like the
Order at
FS1 one.
lowesforpros.com,
Yeah.
and we'll have
FS1,
your
they're
order
good.
ready
Lock
for
it in.
pickup.
Yeah.
With dedicated
You
pro
know the
loaders
guy
to
who
get you
hosts
loaded
that
up and
won
back
the
to the
Tony
job
Bruno,
site
the first
faster.
ever Tony
For your
Bruno
next
award.
job and the next, do it right
Who?
for less.
Who, Tone?
Start with Lowe's.
What's his face? Clay Travis, yeah.
Clay
Yeah,
Travis.
Clay.
Is he a good dude? Is he good?
I don't really know him that well. I met him in L.A.
Why'd you give him the award? What do you?
This organization, Barrett
Oh,
Sports,
Jason
Jason
Barrett,
Barrett
yeah.
has this
Oh,
yearly
Jason Barrett.
get together. So they named an award after me. It's a nice crystal microphone.
Oh,
You hear that? It's multi-purpose. You can smoke it, becomes a bong. Yeah, no, it could though. If you drill
What
a
else
hole
can you do
through
with
it, anything. You can. There's a lot of. It's a
Having enough
multi-purpose trophy. Most of these
enough
sports
trouble
trophies.
drywall.
What do you do?
Stanley
What
Cup's
about-
multi-purpose.
Yes, it is. The Stanley Cup is a multi-purpose.
Super Bowl
trophy.
trophy.
I can't remember when he didn't
No.
snore. He would go outside.
Unless you put like
I'd
Brunk
be
with it, like
bored.
Gronk did, and put a dent in it.
key
driver
into me
He's a
getting away
legend.
from it and switching.
What a
I
legend.
think I have gotten a piece of my life
Unbelievable.
back.
Imagine
when
being
I
a pro
started
athlete.
with Jewel.
In
He uses
Boston.
Jewel in the house
And
whenever he
winning like
wants.
that.
Brown
The whole
Fork
magical.
everybody wins.
Roy
there.
made the switch in 2017. To make the switch, visit JUUL.com. Jewel Labs compensated this individual for the time and expenses in providing this testimony.
1 minute, guys. 1 minute.
The other room in there. That's the outside book.
Think of all the things you could do for those
That's a
you
nice
love
bar.
if
You
you
pull
won
up.
the $154
You
million
drive by, can you
Mega
get
Millions
can you
jackpot.
call
Like
ahead
fly
and then
your
they hand
entire
you a drink
family
out
to
and
a
you
villa
drive
in the
by
south
right
of
by.
Or you
Florida.
get stuck
Maybe
at the
fly
light,
in a
they run one
separate
out to you.
hotel for the in-laws. So
It's like
take
New
a
Orleans.
chance on Mega
Louisiana,
Millions.
you get
After
the
all,
daiquiris to
anything
go.
can
Yeah.
happen in Jersey.
Wake up weekday mornings 6 to 10 with Golick
I'm not
and
doing
Wingo.
all
97.3 ESPN.
Golick and Wingo.
Coming up on Tuesday, we break down the Monday Night Football double dip and look ahead to Week 2 in the NFL. Plus, one college team is roaring up the rankings. Can they knock Clemson out of the top spot? That and more
Eitan.
Tuesday on Golick and Wingo.
Is there ever a
6 Eastern
thought of
ESPN
doing a
Radio,
morning show with
ESPN.
97.3 or no?
Golick and Wingo on the
I
air,
think it's
on the app, and online
talked to
at
them initially,
97.3
and
coming back, right?
I think it's just
ESPN.com.
the
It's the
ratings
Monday
they
Night
get
Football
with Mike
Countdown to
love
Kickoff
it,
Show
yeah.
with Tony Bruno on 97.3 ESPN, live from the landmark Americana in Glassboro.
I can't believe how fast this hour's flown by and how much information we've already crammed in. But we're not done yet, ladies and gentlemen.
And he did step in. I did hear and see that part of it. But for him to do that, of course, he has history with the team. He played there, and so for him to do that and in that sort of environment, in front of the team, shows a lot of who he is and how he's grown up in this league. And
He is who we thought they were. Well, that's what Delaney
That's
Walker
what
actually
Delaney-
said.
We let him off the hook.
About the Cleveland Browns channeling the late, great Denny Green. They are who we thought they were, the Cleveland Browns, and that's Doug. And we're in the final segment already, guys. Have you had fun here tonight so far?
It's been wonderful. Great bar, great atmosphere.
It is. I haven't even had a cocktail yet.
Yeah.
Is that happening now?
My second year at the Landmark.
Is this
So
your second year?
My second year.
Did they have an
Hey,
anniversary?
Tom was here at some
You were here
point.
last year?
I stopped in, every now and again.
Stopped in.
I was here more to hang out.
Well, I'm going to hang out, watch a little first game. You're not?
There you go.
I got to have a cocktail.
You gotta
I had a
wind
little.
down.
I had the mac and cheese with the what was in it? The braised short ribs.
Oh my!
Short rib mac and cheese. Yes, they've got a variety of mac and cheeses on the menu.
Now, did anybody see the Deion Dawkins clip, Temple graduate, Temple alum, who's a tackle for the Bills, talking about stirring mac and cheese and how that's how they got the... He was describing their final drive as stirring mac and cheese.
I did not see that.
It's similar to what you're saying. Feed the bell cow back. You got to put some butter. You got to... it's interesting
So
stuff.
you keep having to nurture the pot.
Yes.
Interesting.
And beautiful. We have to get that clip if we can.
Yeah, there's a lot of good. Every week, that's the good thing about football. You're always looking for the oddities.
He's a Jersey guy.
There's that one coach at Montana State. Did you see that? All the clips of him with his. We love wacky coaches, right?
He says. He says it's like seeing your mother-in-law drive off in your cliff in your brand new Cadillac.
Yeah. He has all the great analogies. And then Mike Leach, and then there's all these coaches. These coaches who just give us manna from heaven every single week.
Because what's the opposite? The opposite is coach speak, where you
Nick Saban.
what's happening.
Nick Saban and Bill Belichick, the two best coaches, give you nothing.
Well, Saban does give you some pretty cool, inspirational things about focusing kids, and actually, I actually enjoy that because Bill's was entertaining because he's so dry. It's the people in the middle that kill me with the coach speak.
Right.
Bill's so far this way, and then Leach is talking about Buffalo's running on the field.
If you get Belichick talking about the history of football.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Go on. Dissertation.
I'm talking about in interview purposes and media. I've been in restaurants and bars with Bill Belichick, and he's like the nicest guy on earth.
Oh, yeah.
He'll pour some back with you. He'll get, he's good. He's a regular guy, but in front of the media, he's like, right here, man. This is all I'm going to give you because this
On
is all
to
you.
Cincinnati.
We're on to Thursday night football.
Oh, yeah, Thursday night.
Well, we are. You're not going to be there. I'm going to be there Thursday night.
Right.
Screwballs
with
and
Harry.
Harry Mays is going to be there. Up in King of Prussia. John, you're going to be there?
I don't think so. I think I'm calling in. It's up to Krause.
You're going to phone it in? Sort of like the Eagles did in the first half yesterday, right?
That's what I did.
Do we have the winning people tonight? Have we determined the winner, Joe? Because we gave away the tickets tonight. At least your chance to qualify.
Correct.
So we don't do any of that until after the show signs
Oh,
off.
okay. So this will not be on the air. So people are in here.
Hold on to your tickets. Hold on to your tickets. We'll stretch that out. Johnny McMullen has watched that happen. We'll stretch that out. And then, once everybody has a ticket, we'll select the winners. All right?
I'm not going anywhere. I'm here for the people. This isn't about me tonight.
Man of the people.
This is about Eitan and John McMullen and Colin.
That's all. We want to make sure that we're giving back.
I don't know. I think it's about these two guys.
Yeah, I got to have that picture. I got to put white in my beard. That's an old picture where I was still dyeing my beard for television purposes. Now, John and I realized sooner or later you got to let it go natural.
I think Colin and I are down here at like 6-point type.
Listen, I'm on the show twice a week. You're on the show once a week. Eitan's here once a week, but he's got the picture.
Yeah,
that's true. Technically, it should
Because
be
they have a headshot. Did you give them these headshots to?
No,
they
Google me.
Right.
Google
That was probably the answer to the 6 or 7 texts they hit Colin up with, like, dude, can we get a headshot from me already?
You got to have a headshot, man. Good-looking guy, played in the NFL. I mean, come on, man.
You have a headshot from your teams.
Bears.com.
Google me. Google. Who said that?
Some guy on the radio in Philadelphia who said that. And he's been mocked ever since.
Yes.
He's still on the air?
I think he is, yes.
Oh, yeah, it was him. I'm sorry.
What's the matter with you, man? It doesn't matter. We all have our...
I used to listen.
That produced
So let's see. We got a little over a minute, right, to wrap this baby up?
Yes.
We want to thank everybody. We've given you
any
picks.
1 minute.
Do we have any more picks?
That's it. There's only 2 games tonight. What else you want to give out? By the way, Maryland and Temple this weekend.
Come out to the game. It's going to be a great environment.
At the link.
There's going to be a lot of people there.
What's the number on that game? Maryland's been awesome the first 2
They're
weeks.
probably a big favorite now.
Josh Jackson revenge tour.
They have to be a touchdown plus.
I would think 10, 12.
We'll find out. Temple's good. They got the linebackers run with their quarterback, run with their running back. They have some really good players.
Would that be the shocker of the year if Temple were able to beat Maryland?
I wouldn't be shocked.
Because you're a homer,
No,
man.
I'm not. I'm a realist.
I went to Temple, too, but I'm not that much of a homer.
No, I think Temple's got a good team this year, a legit quarterback.
20 seconds.
Fellas, great stuff tonight. Thank you so much. On behalf of all the great crew here, Colin Thompson, free agent, panelist.
10 seconds.
John McMullen, Eitan, everybody here, Joe Krause, Ben, Miss Robin. We want to thank everybody. We'll see you back on Thursday night with our pregame on Thursday Night Football. Good night, everybody.
What's up, guys? It's Ryan from the
I'm dropping
Sports
this
Passion.
and
It's
everything.
that
I forgot
time
who
of
said
year
it.
again.
My
MLB
bad. Sorry.
playoffs, college football is underway,
said
and
that?
the
Who
NFL
said that?
season is upon us. Let's go get in on all the action with DraftKings Sportsbook.
That's a
Just
good
go
one.
to
I still think it's great. I think it's brilliant.
DraftKings.com/WENJ. That's DraftKings.com/WENJ to get the best rewards around. DraftKings has the coolest odds boost that you'll ever.
I'm a nitwit. What was the? It was Helpless. Not Helpless Scout.
I guess. I don't know. But where's the hell's my Google me in here? How do I have those two and not that other one?
It's brilliant. There's some really good Harry drops from there. That
Yeah, I got 2 Harrys. I don't have any Eitons.
Eitan, I wish he was able to take them with him. I wish.
This is the new one I just picked off a Geico commercial.
Antonio.
Have you seen the dude with the little horse? Yeah. And he's sitting there, he's like some dirty guy, and he's got a little pet of the horse, and he has to switch his Geico insurance, and he asked his horse to go get him his tablet so he can go online and see if he can save on homeowners.
Antonio.
I got Harry from there. Yeah, I have all. This is one.
Get out! Get out!
That's young Harry.
And then this is my favorite Harry.
I am pissed off.
There's so many good ones.
We're saying goodbye to all the Twitch guys.
Unless you guys want to say something.
Now, what's this here? Are you following me, camera guy? And
I don't know.
Those are the follows and subscriptions.
Ah, okay.
So as people do that, it goes up.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Loyal fans.
Very low.
Time for the after party show. No, the after show.
That's what he said.
This will be like Big Brother after dark. Except
Brother
completely
after
different.
dark.
In the light.
Are there mics still on?
Nothing's on right now. We're not on? Are we on?
No.
Okay.
Is this thing on? Is this thing on?
Did he bench Rasul in the second half? I know he said he wanted to give them Sidney Jones a look.
Sidney started the second half, but then
Did
because
he
they
get
had,
hurt again? It looked like he got dinged again at one point.
no, he's fine, but they had Darby on a pitch count, so Sidney went over there, Rasul came back in. Because Darby still dealing with his torn
Yeah.
ACLs.
No, he was on the phone at the stadium. John was on the phone at the stadium. It was me, Colin, and Joe.
Okay.
And then Luigi went outside.
That's right, Luigi
with the wireless, and he did the play-by-play of the Bago tournament, cornhole.
That's great, man.
He's fun.
Yeah, he's a good kid. He started out as a listener. He was calling. He came to the show. We did remotes, and he said he was like in medical sales, but he hated it. He wanted to be. He doesn't want to be a radio star. He doesn't want to be a radio. He just wanted to be involved in this bullshit, you know. So he does a fantasy show now.
Yeah.
I had him start answering my phones in my apartment at Dockside when I was doing a podcast.
No, he's good, man. He's funny too. How everybody interacts.
You guys gonna eat? I got the mac and cheese, but I gotta go something, little something. I got you guys any rum and she guys going now? She think this is like a good show up here or what? Did she listen yesterday? How far is it? Oh, you should be there to Cape Bay? Wow. All the way to Cape Bay?
I'm into there. What's that, an hour and a half?
That's way good. Yeah, my son got married there 2 summers ago at the, what's the big hotel there? Congress Hall, yeah. That's a great spot. Have you been to Congress Hall?
No.
Yeah, I love Cape May.
Cape May is awesome. It's just a pain in the ass.
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass to get to, right? Well, my son had his boat. My son is a fisherman, my oldest son. So he has a 23-foot regulator that he goes out into the canyons from there. So it's and the restaurants there are good. It's just a good. It doesn't feel like the Jersey Shore.
No.
It feels more like New England than it does the Jersey Shore. The vibe. Yeah. Look how big Surrey is. That shit's just thick. With 2 C's. Yeah. With 2 C's. So they added an option how to. Is there any way that wasn't rigged in advance? No way. How do you come up with a video that's all well produced, and then all of a sudden the next day you got all these other videos? No, it's a bit weird. No.
No way. But think about all the shit that happened. Is he going in the cryo chamber to?
No, not that. No, not that. Not the foot thing. That's just stupid with the foot thing. And then the helmet thing. I don't know how legit, but that was a stall tech. He was just trying to test the water with the helmet thing.
But that was so weird. Like, how do you know about that? Who knew about that?
But then when he prints the letter of Mayock sent him with the fine, puts it on Instagram.
Then you're done.
He
was trying to
knew
get
at
cut.
that point that there's no way you're going to get away with that. Because it's even in the contract, the Players Association's not even going to back you for that.
No, they wanted them. Like, you're an idiot. I bet they were. I don't know. People ask me my comment, and I'm like, it's just so strange. I don't even.
And then you knew that last Wednesday, he and Mayock were going to have to sit down and talk about it, and that's when the confrontation and the cracker and all the I'll kick your ass stuff happened. And then before you know it, then Gruden's backing him the next day. I mean, it was just bizarre. The only good thing that happened.
John allowed him. John gave the blessing
I
for
know.
him to post that.
Well, on my Friday night show, I had Chris Mortensen on. I called him because he's the one who went on ESPN and tweeted that Gruden gave him the approval that it was okay with that voice recording video.
Yeah. Gruden's an idiot too.
Oh yeah, no doubt. There's no doubt there's a power struggle. I mean, he wanted Mike to help him get a draft after the whole Larry Cooper thing.
John's my girlfriend Sydney. Hey, how are you?
Sydney, I apologize if I offended you. I know are you a Florida Gator?
Yeah, play the crosshair.
It's not as bad as being a Tennessee Volunteer right now.
Oh.
Or a Miami Hurricane.
They were wishing they had Greg Schiano, which would be an interesting hire, but he'll flip the program around. He's good at that. My biggest thing with that is he has the job. There's public backlash.
Yeah.
And you fire a guy because of public backlash?
Happens all the time.
Happened in Maryland with that situation too. That's a whole other can of worms, but still. It's just
Everybody's afraid of everything there. They jump at the first sign of controversy, and they shouldn't.
At some point you have to say, we're not going to listen to Twitter. I understand why you would, but at some point you say,
I agree with you, but I mean, everybody's scared of everything. Everybody is frightened of everything.
Where we listen to that. Did you see those three guys that came in? Are they Eagle players? Because I don't recognize them.
Well, no, I didn't.
They came in right as we were finishing up. They walked across and they went in that room.
When are we doing the pulling? Sid got a ticket. I want to go to the game.
Pull it?
No, when are we going to pull the ticket?
Well, I don't know. Ask Joe. I don't run the show. I'm just a pretty voice on the radio.
It's usually 6 to 8, but there's 2 games tonight.
Yeah, I used to live right down.
Maybe
it's
okay. It's small. Like it's not part of being a part.
No. It's right smack in the middle of a neighborhood where if you didn't know it was there, I think there's like a dry cleaners next door. It's a small little. It's not a strip mall. It'd be like 3 stores on the strip. You know what I mean? Like you pull in and then you pull around. It's a KOP. It's a local bar. So it's not like Fox and Hound or one of the other places.
It's not tiny though, is it?
I don't think it's tiny. It's definitely not this big. I can tell you that. I don't think it's tiny, but I think that there's
1-2, 1-2.
But I don't think that it's like
Chest.
There's no way I can break down my studio at my house and then get it and set it up 2 hours later for a show. It is. Especially when I go to South Philly to King of Prussia at that time of the afternoon.
I mean, what time did you leave South Philly to get here?
Well, I thought it was from 6 to 8. I mean, I thought it was from 5 to 7. And then I realized that Mike Gill got here early. So we got here. No, I Go told me that it wasn't 55 to 56. So we got here like 10 after 5 because she wants to set up the camera and stuff and give us an hour. Because she has to test internet and stuff. So Joe sets up everything else. Robin just sets up the video part of it. Will Aaron Nola perform tonight?
Better. They can't afford to not to.
He's got to go, what, 7 at least? Yeah. He's got to go 7, right?
I got to see him got 6 or 7 relievers for a night where he's not pitching.